Let me tell you something brutally honest. The world does not respect the weak. It pities them. It ignores them. It walks over them. And the worst part, sometimes you start believing you deserve it. You tell yourself you're trying. You tell yourself you're improving. You tell yourself things will change one day. But deep inside, you know you're holding back. You know fear has more control over your decisions than ambition does. And that is the true curse. Not failure, not rejection, not bad luck. Fear. Fear of not being enough. Fear of being judged. Fear of standing alone. Fear of becoming powerful and having no excuses left. You see, weakness is comfortable. Weakness allows you to blame circumstances. Weakness allows you to blame timing. Weakness allows you to blame other people. But power? Power removes excuses. Power forces accountability. Power demands responsibility. And most people are not ready for that burden. Sukuna doesn't ask for permission to exist. He doesn't beg for acceptance. He doesn't shrink himself to make others comfortable. He dominates his space. And here's what terrifies people about dominance. It exposes their hesitation. When someone stands confidently in their strength, it reminds everyone else of their own cowardice. Look at your life right now. How many times did you stay silent when you wanted to speak? How many times did you lower your standards to fit in? How many times did you accept disrespect because you were afraid to stand alone? That is how weakness grows. Not overnight, but decision by decision. Every time you choose comfort over courage. Every time you avoid confrontation. Every time you tell yourself it's fine when it's not. You are training yourself to shrink, and shrinking becomes a habit until one day you wake up and realize you don't even recognize who you've become. There is a monster inside you, not evil, not destructive, but powerful. And you've been suppressing it your entire life because society teaches obedience, not dominance. Society rewards compliance, not intensity. Society prefers you small, predictable, manageable. But something inside you refuses to stay quiet. That hunger, that anger, that frustration when you see people with less effort getting more results. That voice that says, you're meant for more. You try to silence it. You distract yourself. You scroll. You procrastinate. You overthink. But the voice never disappears. Because it is not ego. It is potential. And potential is dangerous. Because if you ignore it long enough, it turns into regret. There will come a moment in your life where everything feels like it's collapsing. Your plans fail. Your confidence cracks. Your relationships shift. Your self-image shatters. And in that moment, you will have two choices: break or awaken. Most people break. They become bitter. They become victims. They become comfortable in complaining. But a rare few, they look at the chaos and they smile. Because chaos is opportunity. When everything falls apart, you are no longer restricted by your old identity. You are free to rebuild, stronger, sharper, more ruthless in discipline. You think kings are born? No. Kings are forged. Forged in humiliation. Forged in isolation. Forged in moments where quitting would have been easier than continuing. There will be nights where you question your worth, where your mind attacks you, where your past mistakes replay endlessly, and you will feel small, insignificant, powerless. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Power is not the absence of suffering. Power is the refusal to kneel to it. Sukuna doesn't ask the world to be fair. He doesn't demand kindness. He doesn't wait for approval. He takes space. He owns presence. He accepts his nature. And you're still negotiating with your fear. You're still asking, what if I fail? Ask a different question. What if you don't try? What if 5 years from now, you're in the same position, with the same excuses, watching someone else live the life you were too afraid to claim? That thought should terrify you more than failure ever could. Because failure is temporary. Regret is permanent. You don't need permission to evolve. You don't need validation to grow. You don't need applause to become dangerous. But you do need courage. Courage to cut off what weakens you. Courage to discipline your distractions. Courage to stand alone when your standards rise. There is a version of you that does not hesitate, that does not overthink, that does not apologize for ambition. That version is waiting. Waiting for you to stop playing small. Waiting for you to stop pretending weakness is humility. Waiting for you to decide. When the world calls you weak, when life pushes you to your knees, when your own mind tells you to surrender, will you bow to your fear, or will you rise and become the king of your own chaos? Listen carefully. You don't become powerful by wishing for easier battles. You become powerful by surviving the ones meant to break you. Every insult you swallowed, every betrayal you endured, every time someone said, "You're not enough," it carved something inside you. At first, it felt like damage. But damage, under pressure, becomes armor. You think Sukuna fears destruction? No, he understands it. Because when everything burns, only what is truly strong survives. And that is your moment. The moment when excuses die. The moment when comfort loses control. The moment when you stop asking for mercy and start demanding growth. There will be a second in your life. A silent, brutal second. When your old self begs you to stay average. And your future self dares you to become dangerous. That second will define you. Not your talent. Not your background. Not your circumstances. Your decision. So answer this honestly. When pressure crushes your confidence, when pain strips away your identity, when the world whispers, "You are too weak," will you accept that label? Or will you rise, embrace your inner king, and prove that even chaos kneels to those who refuse to bow?